It is, my friends, day 8 of the Farlands or Bust a Day-a-Thon Nostalgia-rama Descent into Madness and Irrelevance 2022. It's another early morning here in the FLoB offices, as is indicated by the shining light in my face. Don't let that fool you, though. The sun isn't out. It is very cloudy and rainy. It just happens to be bright. But yeah, it is March 15th, 2022, a Tuesday at last inspection. And we left off at 40,529 megabytes of a world save file in Farlands or Bust. And we also had a $100 donation from Doc Gratis as we ended last night, bringing us to $1,571.92 for Equality Texas Foundation. We were expecting all the European Farlanders and viewers, and if they don't show up, I got a knuckle sandwich for you. But yeah, there's the donate link right there in the chat, and or below in the YouTube description if that's where you're currently watching this. 40 gigabytes already? Where have you been, Shasta? Where have you been? We reached that live on stream, quite literally. Have you got your woofs ready, though? Got your woofs ready? Because we're ready to go. Woof! Wolfie, immediately! Immediately, without hesitation. He's like, it's early. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Not even a moment to waste. Oh, that way is east. This way is west. Let's go. This is after yesterday. We had to wait like a minute and a half for one of his woofs, but I suppose it all evens out in the end. Carrying and continuing on here. Minecraft Beta 173. Should I put the retro gaming tag on this? Classic gaming or whatever it is? Wow, it got really bright in here. Bzzz. Sorry. Only the finest production quality around these parts. Only the finest. And like I said, Doc Gratis had generously donated a hundo at the end of last stream, but I didn't get a chance to look at or answer the question that came with that. So I shall do that right now. After I collect some planks. Oops. Doc says, I'm sure you have heard of the curse. May you live in interesting times. Did you ever think you would live in such interesting times? Do you worry they might get more interesting? I used to not understand how bad that curse would be. I get it now. I have got to say I've never heard of that curse. Is it like from something? Like a piece of media and or literature that I am unaware of? Does anybody know? May you live in interesting times. Nobody? Bueller? Bueller. It's a book by Terry Pratchett. He quotes it in the book. He quotes the book in the book. It's a circular quote. There's a whole Wikipedia page about it that I do not have the wherewithal to click on right now. Did you ever think you would live in such interesting times? I don't find them to be too interesting. And I know that's that's not what it means, but I do feel like, I don't know. I do feel like there's definitely... Whoa! Whoa! I fell out! I didn't even know I was in to have fallen out. Wolfie, what are you doing? Oh, you dingus. Now you're stuck. Under the boat. Jeez. It's a traditional Chinese curse. I found that in a fortune cookie. I don't know. I feel like, depending on the lens you look at it, everybody always lives through interesting times. Like, and if you're not, then you're fortunate enough to have the ability, socially or financially or whatever, to better weather the interesting times, to not like have any impact on you, right? So yeah, I don't know. You ask, did I ever think I would live through such interesting times? I guess I never considered, like, the future world. Like, I never, like, I don't know. That's a difficult thing to expect or not expect. But again, yeah, it's also the lens. Like 50 years ago, there were certainly interesting times happening, but less information about the interesting, quote unquote, interesting things, interesting bad, whatever things happening. So they may have gone unnoticed by, say, the vast majority of people, or at the very least, through my own lens, unnoticed by the majority American middle-class white person. Right? Like the same thing could be said about, like, earlier than that. Like, maybe living through the Civil War wasn't too bad if you were not living in America, right? Like, would those have been interesting times for somebody living in the UK? I don't know. I don't know what was going on at the time there. So it all, I think, depends on your the lens in which you are living, and also your station and situation. Conversely, a very poor person, say in like a Southeast Asian country, like right now, are they at all concerned at what's happening in Ukraine? They might have been affected, perhaps disproportionately so, to like the COVID thing. But are they hearing about these crappy, transphobic, homophobic, racist governors in Texas and Idaho and things like that? Were they at all concerned about Trump being president in the United States? Or were they simply doing what they could to survive and... Ah! Careful, Wolfie! And, like, maintain their livelihood and family in their little, much smaller sphere of the world that they live in. And is there anything wrong with that? No. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm constantly, like, trying to, like, appreciate the fact that my own shoes are not the same shoes that everybody else walks in, right? And that's a very difficult thing just for humans to be able to consider. Certainly, I'm not trying to, like, downplay any of the things that are happening or any of the things that are important to me, you, or whoever. I mean, similarly, is somebody, like I just described, are they even considering the different shoes that other people are experiencing these interesting times in? May you wear interesting shoes. May the shoes you walk in be of interest. So yeah, I do feel like a lot of it is perspective and the availability of information. I certainly think a lot of it, although there is certainly a flip side, I think the internet and availability of information has given perspective. Like all these things like we're talking about earlier, like the car companies buying out public transportation companies and like shutting them down for their own good to push more cars on people. Like, could that sort of stuff happen in current times, or would it be, would a brighter light be shown on it instead of it just being swept under the rug and like not being disseminated to the general public who might have a counter opinion on it, you know? So yeah, no, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of stuff sucks. And a lot of stuff feels like it sucks, even if it doesn't directly suck for you, right? And that's all just dependent on how honk honk fortunate you are, and or privileged you are, and or what shoes you inherited on this planet. These are very deep topics for this early, and giving me a headache.
Early stream appreciation.
Early stream appreciation, Alphane. Thank you very much. Algaefane, sorry. I don't know. I missed the middle word there. Chasto gave $20 to Equality Texas and said, donating to this charity because it's happening in Texas where I live. Thanks for bringing attention. May your journey to the farlands be fun. Oh, it'd be fun, alright. It'd be interesting.
Oh. I almost swallowed that nut.
Be fun.
Be fun! We just answered your question, Doc Radis. Sort of, I suppose. Perhaps not in a way you were anticipating, but... I never anticipate the answer. Ruins the surprise. Well, let's calm down there. I don't know that any of the answers I've ever given for any question were ever a surprise. Wolfie, you gonna get this pig? No? Where'd he go? There he is. Eat him! Hey, he doesn't care. There we go. Murder. Of course, it would be, like, not raining right now. It's fine. It's fine. We can walk Juno some other time here. Aren't you glad I didn't ask what's your favorites? What's your favorite interesting time you've lived through? The landscape is difficult to traverse. Jeez. Alright, I guess we're going the long way here. May you traverse interesting landscapes. We certainly have been. Eggs. Stop sitting with my legs crossed. Lose my circulations. My precious blood. Why are we not going west? I'm very much going west. I'm going slightly southwest because I'm also concurrently trying to negate the 100,000 or whatever X coordinate that we accidentally built up over the last season. Bloink. Speed run. Ooh, buddy. No, yes. I mean, that's a rookie mistake, thinking that the compass points north. It points back to original spawn. So as long as it's pointing down, then that means we're headed in the right direction. The right direction, the right direction, the right direction, the right direction. Need some boats. Might as well make more beds while I'm at it. Oops. Might need a sword while I'm at it, too. Careful, Wolfie. Oh, definitely need a sword now. Broken. I'll beat you to death with a crafting table. Ooh, buddy. It's fine. Doing fine. Ooh, that was weird. Thank you. I don't know what you're applauding, but I accept it. Good sleep. Well slept. Loud spoiler. Probably lava over there. Yep, definitely lava. Whoop, definitely a fire starting. That's a shame. When was the last spider spawner? I don't remember. We have had quite a few skeleton. Speaking of which, skeleton spawners. Pro dog walking strats, yes. Particularly if that dog is Wolfie. Ooh-wee. Entertainment. At the end of the month, the 28th is when I'm planning on F3ing. That's the 11-year anniversary of starting to walk to the farlands. '28th. Those are the words I said, yes. Oh. Oh, well, this is no good. Found myself some sort of canyon. Perhaps where combat could take place. Huh. Bridge across. Yeah, that's never gone wrong with a dog. Beans. So let's see what's over this way. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. Nope, this is exactly the same spot that I checked the first time. Yes, going further up definitely will be the answer. I mean, maybe. Beans. Beans, Wolfie. Beans. Careful, Wolfie. Oh my god. This over here might... Yeah, this is... Okay. Alright. We found a way. Ah. Kind of. Oh, Wolfie's definitely going to fall here. He's like, yep. Yes, I am. Yep, knew it. You nerd. Ah. Well, that took longer than it needed to. Move. Alright. I don't know. That just is a thing. It just happens. You're used to it by now. Papa. I swear I did drink coffee this morning, but it really doesn't have that effect on me, unfortunately. Are there any unanswered questions in the question list? Nope. Got through them all. Is that your question? Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I have some duplicate emotes that can be unlocked with bits versus being a tier 2 sub or whatever. The jitteriness is so intense. Slowly getting those extra emoters. Use maybe a little bit of wool, but not much. Spooky noises.
Oh. I almost swallowed
Yes
that
it
nut.
is. You should definitely use the donate on this Twitch page. Why did you donate to, the other one? Rad? Which is fine. I just haven't had the time nor the mental capacity to do any updates to the actual website. I mean, did you donate to the other one and have a question? You ever play the latest version of Minecraft? Nope. I have really no reason to. Nor interest in. Beep beep. Beats not bombs. Thank you for the $20 donation. Whoa. What are you using for coffee making these days? I've been looking at a Smeg coffee maker. I used French press and AeroPress for a while, but sort of hate them. I've been using Hamilton Beach Drip that works, but it's plastic basin, which is not great. What do I have? I've been using a coffee maker, drip coffee maker, but it's like the expensive one. I don't think it's Hamilton Beach. It's like Bona Vita or the other one. Bona Vita, more like Boner Vita.
I almost swallowed that nut.
This is the latest version. We don't talk about Bruno Air latest version of Minecraft.
Jokes. Yeah, I grind my own beans. And then we use a drip coffee maker. It is getting up there, and like, yes, the water basin is also plastic, and it's starting to like get those old plastic cracks in it. I also don't feel like it's getting as hot as it used to. Like, the heating elements are probably getting a bit crudgy, even though I do run descaling through it every once in a while. But yeah, in the past, like in the recent past, I've tried like just seeing if I could do like a normal pour over, like Chemex style or pour over style, and I've just like lost the touch and like knowing what the right amounts are and timing is. And then yeah, I used an AeroPress. I'd never used AeroPress before going on our 2-week camping road trip vacation thing, and that was subpar to my tastes. Yeah, it's too small and just like too finicky. Like it started to make more sense when I started using the inverted method. You know, it's really snobby when there's different methods to use your AeroPress. But like, I feel like the beans were under brewed. But like using the like having the AeroPress upside down and like actually allowing them to kind of sit in the water for a little bit before turning it upside down and doing the pressing part. And yeah, it makes more of like an espresso that you have to add hot water to versus a coffee. And I just don't like that. An Americano. Like, the girlfriend will go to like these espresso drive-thrus, which are like everywhere. It's very much a West Coast thing. Just little shacks and trailers that all they do is espresso. But they don't do like normal coffee. They only do espresso. So like, if she asks if I want anything, a few times I've been like, yeah, just a normal coffee, like an Americano. It's not the same, and I don't like it. It's different, and it frightens me, and I want nothing of it. And I feel like that is the same kind of product and flavor that the AeroPress make. Like, even like these not Tim Hortons, what's the one with the windmill? Dutch Brothers. Yeah, that's mostly like Oregon and Northern California and stuff. Like even those places, they seem like they'd be like full-fledged coffee places, but no, those are only like espresso drinks. They only have espresso machines. I mean, I'd rather have a Starbucks drip coffee than an Americano from an espresso place. The girl... Is a mocha pot the silver thing? Not that hard to just have a drip coffee maker in your establishment. Right, but then they'd have to, like, keep it stocked and, like, ready. And if they ran out of drip coffee and somebody orders it, it's gotta be like, well, hold on, you can wait, like, 10, 15 minutes, you know? As opposed to just, like, having a bunch of espresso shots blasted out and ready to mix in with whatever crazy order anybody makes. It wouldn't be difficult. I mean, they have like smoothies and iced coffees and stuff. It wouldn't be difficult, but that's just not their product offering, I suppose. Yes, I did play Espresso Tycoon at like 5 frames per second because encoding overloaded. Yeah, the girlfriend, before I moved in, that's how she made her coffee, and that was okay, the mocha pot. It's like the thing where the water's in the bottom and then it boils and then it goes through the filter and into the top. Kind of a similar issue where then you have to add hot water to like make it a coffee strength coffee, but it's more, I think that tastes more like in between an Americano and a drip coffee. But they are kind of not easy. I mean, I suppose that sort of thing could be taken camping. And, you know, could be just as compact. Maybe a bit heavier, obviously, than a AeroPress, but we learned our lesson there. Have you ever thought about roasting your own beans? No, that's just an additional, like, I already made it as difficult on myself as possible. If anything, I need to lessen the effort. I'm already baking my own bread. Alan Zero, thank you for the donation to our charity. Quality Texas. Like, I started drinking coffee. Spawner with French press. And like, even that, like now we have like 4 French presses here for some reason. Because the girlfriend had some. That I can't figure out how to make either. And it's very strong. And often, just like, again, the wrong, can't get the grind right or the timing right. And then I switched to Chemex, but then my Chemex broke. And then pour over. And then, like I said, it just, like, started taking too long and being too much effort, so I'm like, let me just try this. Another skeleton spawner. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello? Is it a double? It's a double! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bow! Ooh, we can blast this one to Kingdom Come at least. Spooky double chest. Could it be a triple? I don't think such a thing is even possible. No. Real double. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, my friend. Yeah, I'm pretty... Oh, Jesus. I don't have a sword. I don't think a triple chest is possible. Oh, God. I think it's always just one or two. I mean, I think we've had none before, too, but... Yeah, this is such an interesting spawner. Interesting times. Alright, Wolfie, I'm going to pick you up and move you a bit further outside the blast radius. I guess while I'm putting this down, I can make a new sword. And maybe a shovel. Since we're going through those pretty quickly. But also... SMQ, thank you very much for the $25 donation. Advice by an actual doctor to join the coffee club. So far, I can only enjoy the Starbucks caramel macchiato. So, have you told your doctor that? Because that is like about 6 cups of sugar. I think that might be the opposite of the advice he was trying to give. They were trying to give. All right, let's light this candle, shall we? Blast these skeletons to Kingdom Come. Ah! Oh, he got immediately extinguished. Extinguished? Extinguished. Blasted and flooded and burninated. And dead. Very, very dead. Neat. Kind of, I guess. I'll take a screenshot of that. Continuing on. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's how I do coffee these days. No more sugar, though. I used to put sugar in my coffee. I'm off the sugar. Just black. Alan Zero, that long-awaited question. Have you ever seen a play like in a theater? Are you interested in live entertainment other than music shows? I have. I mean, I've seen, like, high school plays and stuff, like, that we were forced to see in, like, school and stuff. I've been to, like, 1 or 2, like, not high school productions. I don't know why, or with whom such a thing happened to me. I am not a fan. And it has certainly been many, many a decade since I have patronized the theater. Yeah, I don't know why. It certainly wasn't my decision. Maybe like I went with family or like partner at the time or something. I don't like. They're always musicals, and I'm not a musical person. I am not a fan of the musicals. I'm like I like why is everybody singing? This is people don't sing to each other in real life. What is this? What sort of a rug are you trying to pull over my face here? No, I can't. Nothing I was ever into. Are you interested in live entertainment other than music shows? Not anymore. Not over the past 3 years I haven't been. I mean, I went to like comedians, like stand-up comedy is, I suppose, is close to like a sit-down stage theater type live entertainment that is not music venue live entertainment. That's as close as I can consider it. Nope, get pounced, everybody, get pounced. Can't imagine Kurt at a rodeo either. The girlfriend wants to go, like, has gone to, there's rodeos out east here. That she finds to be a heckin' good time. But, again, those have not been things the last few years. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't necessarily, like, respect the medium of plays or musicals. I just don't. Look at that weird Jenga situation. What even was happening there? That's like a... We've had, like, ghostly hidey holes. That's like a ghostly elevated hidey hole. How weird. Yeah, it just doesn't it capture my attention or my interest. And definitely more, even more so if it's like musical, which is all I really have experience with seeing live. Oh, uh-oh. Well, this is interesting. I don't have enough dirt. I'll have to, well, I can't use sand, I guess. I mean, well, hold on now. What's stopping me? Like, other than the fact that now I'm not up there. Oh, other than that too is a problem. Okay, so there's a few things stopping me from just making a straight up 3 long pillar of sand. But it should still work, right? Sure it do. Sure it do. Improvise, adapt, overcome. I mean, maybe that's what that kind of ghost hidey hole, elevated hidey hole was like warning us of the future, and we did not heed. We did not heed. Heed. I mean, we won't be making another elevated hidey hole because this is the last night before we take a break. So the point is moot. Moot! Alan Zero also asks in chat. Oh geez, these are a lot of cactuses. There we go. For shame. You find you become more reclusive after. Big quotes on the after. After, up until this point, you mean, of COVID? Like if COVID completely disappeared tomorrow, you'd still be less likely to go to things than you were pre-pandemic. I was just thinking about that during, in the middle of, through the easy part of, through the least interesting time so far. I didn't want to, like, poke fun at anybody getting their vaccinations, but I was very, there's that meme of that guy, like, doing this, like, that face, like people back last April or whatever getting their first vaccine and like posting on Instagram and Twitter being like, it's finally over, back to normal life, the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to, obviously that's not the crowd that I want to like criticize or anything, but that face is the face I was silently making to myself. I mean, I think today, I mean, at the grocery... Up. Thank you very much. Anonymous, 150. Here's to a good lunch for the soon-to-be angry Kirche Mac. Thank you very much for the Hundo 50. We're up to $1,800. Specifically $1,806.92 for Equality, Texas. Thank you very much. I'm trying to find my way around this very precarious mountain that I found myself upon. I was just thinking about that on the way to the grocery store. Like, my anxiety definitely upticked when I'm like, I'm going to the grocery store. I went rather early in order to, like, avoid the usual crowds and traffic and whatnot, just to get it over with. And I think today is when in Washington the indoor mask mandate lifted. Even though, like, the stores still require masks. But instantly there are people in there without masks on. And, like, from what I hear, apparently, the Seattle area and Washington, of all the places, has been very, as a whole, stringent about masks and things, as opposed to other parts of the country. I'm hearing it's as if, like, nothing has ever happened and there isn't anything going on and 1 million Americans didn't just literally die. So good, bad that I'm here? I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely some new anxiety. And also just being out of practice, I suppose. I mean, I always didn't like going to the grocery store or going to Target or, you know, whatever. I was never a big fan of those things prior, but that was only because I didn't like that aspect of it. And that's like another thing that, like, definitely early on, it's eased up, but like early on, people would joke like, "Oh, this is great for you. You're an introvert. This is great for you. Your life didn't change at all. You worked from home." It's like, that's kind of a shitty thing to say. Like, of course it's completely different. And I've definitely been affected. Careful, Wolfie! And now have... If I already was on a shaky foundation in social situations, now it's like perhaps tipped into actually like unhealthy, like actually a problem. That was a part of that podcast I was talking about yesterday, talking about ADHD, is that like we're seeing like an uptick of diagnoses and like mental health. And like some people might just say, oh, that's just because it's like in style now and you hear of it and like you self-diagnose and stuff. But it's also like, perhaps prior to this, most people were able to like, were treading water. They had their head above water and it wasn't noticeable and they were able to do their daily everything. But now, that has become impossible. Like, the collective... Yes, the collective trauma, that's a good term for it. Has risen the sea levels just a few more inches, where now it is far more obvious that there is something wrong. So yeah, reclusive? I don't know if reclusive is the right word, but like definitely now... I definitely... Gosh darn it, Wolfie. There's definitely additional layers to an onion that already existed, but now it's definitely making me cry more. Wow, what an analogy. Got him. That right there is called marketing. Yeah, we've had, that was a little, that was a confusing but a nice area of cliffy, canyony stuff back there. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I'm trying. I have this, kind of like, not show you the front, but like, I want to go see a doctor. Okay, here's a 14-page thing to fill out, which is going to sit on your your desk for 3 weeks, as it has, and the next steps will never be taken. May you live in cliffy canyons. Combat Canyon, yun. My executive function is not functioning. Ah, this is all sand. If I'm gonna make a full-size hidey hole, I need better than sand. I need something that's structurally sound, like this dirt. Speaking of my deck, let's ooh, perfect. Hopefully. Oh. Bit unfortunate, but I think we can deal with it. Here, Wolfie, have a seat right there. Perfect. Indeed. Oh yeah, definitely something that might need to be approached. I'm worried about Wolfie falling in the water. He should be fine, right? He's fine. Yeah, let's... make the beds. A few boats, perhaps, although I think we might be able to reuse the one that's out there. And once again, thank everybody who so far... we got 5 donations to Equality Texas, our charity for this FLoB-a-Thon right now. Much appreciated indeed. And the questions, of course, as well. I'm going to sleep here. I'm going to back up the world, take a quick break, and then BRB for more. $40,557 point what? Point what? Can't see it. All right. All right. I leave for a long time because I had shit to do, and now I'm back. But one Doc Gratis donated $270 to Equality Texas. We're at $2,076.92. Thank you very much, Doc Gratis. And has a bunch of questions from the Colbert questionnaire. Wasn't that a thing on his show? These are different questions than were on his show. But I will attempt to answer them. And undoubtedly fail miserably. But who's ready? Who's ready to begin? You got your woofs? You got your woofs ready? Have you got your woofs ready? Woof! There it is. Alright. I figured if I looked into the sunlight, he might woof. And he did. I don't know if it had anything to do with me looking into the sunlight, but let's just pretend. What? That? Whoa, whoa! I wanted that. Didn't want that. Or that. Or that. We can use this one still. Alright. Continuing on here. You know what? I guess I'll just walk on the land. It's fine. It's fine. And from then I can get these sheeps and these trees. That's exactly what I intended to do. See? That is exactly what I intended. And this pig. Even though that pig is very dry. Alright. Let's do this. Thank you. Thank you much. Much appreciated. One more. Plan all along. Perfect. Alright, Dr. Addis. From the Colbert questionnaire. What is the scariest animal? Feathers. I'm gonna say box jellyfish. Because you can't see it, yet it can kill you. Very, very badly, much so. Yeah, that's something that would prevent me from getting in the ocean in Australia. So that's pretty scary. Wouldn't you agree? That seems like a good answer. A scientifically good answer. Apples or oranges? Not wild about either. Just fruits in general. Not a fruit person. But I do think I'll go with apples. The only oranges I'm a fan of are the big bumpy sumo oranges that are currently in season. Because you can't put peanut butter on an orange. You can put peanut butter on an apple? Why? I mean, like with an apple, you can make a pie. I'm thinking of the pie aspect, the pie angle, the pangle, as it's known. What do you think happens when we die? Nothing. Erosion. Eroding. Light and fun questions. Cheddar cheese? Cheddar cheese happens when we die? What is your favorite smell? Favorite smell? I like to take a good hit off of the vanilla extract, which I got to unleash on the banana bread. That's a good smell. That's a pretty damn good smell. Least favorite smell. Oh, what isn't? Are these? Is this is like a variety? What wasn't his like his questions before? Like favorite curse word and least favorite curse word. Or am I thinking of that in the actor studio guy? Least favorite smell. I honestly am gonna go with weed, the marijuana. It is grossly unpleasant to have to smell that outdoors. Or like walking past a person outside. That is a strong, bad, just gross, like, why smell? It's just like, that, okay, that's the choice you made. I guess. I don't know why. I mean, like, it's right up there with, like, cigarettes, but it's, like, it's distinct enough. It's like, okay, so for fun, you like to apparently smell like a skunk's butthole. is you put that in your mouth and lungs for fun. Exercise, worth it? I don't think so. And exercise to me is different than, like, being active. Like, going on a walk with Juno every day or hiking. Like, exercise is like, I'm going to go to the gym to specifically do exercise. And that, or I'm going to go jogging or running, or, you know, like, where exercise is the activity, is the point of the activity you're doing, I am not a fan. But if, like, fitness and exercise is a byproduct of wanting to go see that faraway mountain waterfall or walking the dog every day, then okay. What number am I thinking of? 82. Oh, was it 270? Were you thinking of the number 270? I don't know. That's probably should have been my first guess. Since that was how much you donated. Not much for the powers of deduction, am I? Oi, I'm stuck. I couldn't. There was like a riptide there. Well, those were different. Those were different questions. Went better than I worried it might. Yeah, I mean, there was only one or two. Like, there was only a favorite smell. And I kind of just went with it. I tried not to think about it too hard. I tried to think of, like, what's the best smell I've recently smelled, and it was that vanilla. The vanilla extract. And I can even remember as a kid, like, if my mom was baking cookies or something, I'd like to smell the vanilla. I would like to smell the vanilla, please. And then alternatively, what's the worst smell I've recently smelled? And living around here, book set. You wish you could exercise. You broke your leg and ankle. Your lankle 5 weeks ago. Up. Timo Warner. What number are you thinking of? Well, I was thinking of 82, because that's the number that popped into my head when I was trying to guess what number they were thinking of. Correct. That is correct. You were thinking of the number 82. Who is this early streaming bird? I don't know, but you're late. We've been here for an hour and a half. Where have you been? We've been here for an hour and 54 minutes. Where have you been? Working, that's no excuse. Has never stopped me before. Yeah, I mean, I've even, like, I know, like, one of the default, like, oh, you're depressed. Why don't you do this? Why don't you drink more water? Why don't you exercise? Like, exercise is a very big thing. And yes, I know it scientifically and technically and very realistically can help. And like, old Kurt trying to find new hobbies, bird watching was a non-starter. Like, maybe exercise, or just like, I mentioned this before, like, just for no reason other than, like, having time and boredom. Like, try to get muscles. Obtain muscles. It has, like, a mild appeal. Like, I suppose even, like, just biologically, to, like, be able to transform. Ooh, that's my transformer. Your body into something else. But then at the same time, I look at people who do that, like who do lift weights and look like that, Nate. I'm like, man, that seems super lame. Like the sort of dudes who like take pictures with their cell phone like this, right? So that like their big shoulders and muscles can show. I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want any part of that, my friends. Woo! What was that, Niblet? You did like a siren. Whoop! Definitely does not need to be the end goal of working out. Well, but I think that's the only reason I would. Like, I was for a while there, just like at home, like doing push-ups and like doing pull-ups, and like it was actually like making a difference. And like I could see a difference, and like that was the interesting part to me. But like just working out to be healthy. What sort of a scam is that? Like, man, like running. I guess I don't yet. I guess it seems like a lot of time and effort. Of course, I am very lucky in my biology that I don't seem to have any sort of health or weight or body just naturally unhealthy tendencies, I suppose, that would require me to like necessitate that sort of thing. Give it 10 years. I don't know, my friend. I'm already 40. I feel like, isn't that kind of sort of knowledge now? Like whatever your body is doing, like through your mid-30s, is kind of where you get stuck. Is like the equilibrium that it tries to be at for the rest of your life, kind of. I mean, that's I'm sure there are many things I could do and get very, very unhealthy. I did notice that, like, that injury I have when I fell on those stairs and scraped up my leg. It's taking a long time to heal. I feel like that's definitely new with age. Like an aging Wolverine. I'm in my 50s and was surprised. Ha! Oh god! Just like overnight. Ah! That's the noise it made too, I'm sure. Do you do any sports for fun now? I never did any. That's another thing. Like, attributing sports to fitness. I'm not interested in sports. Or, like, competitive anythingness. I'm interested in Niblet, though. Beep, 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 beep. Oh god, I'm like, that is so loud. Why is that so loud? Because that was an alert. Ah. Got him. Which one is the pop sound? I think it's like 51 to like 59 is probably pop. There it is. What about sports that are self-competition? Tennis? How do you play tennis with yourself? You'd be very good at sprinting. Any boats? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just like emotionally never appealed to me. To be like competitive or good like at a sport. I mean, like I mentioned before, like the girlfriend is skiing and like learning all these things and going down moguls, and like she said she started to like go across like the slide boxes and like the you know the like X Games sort of stunt things. And like to me, like great for her, like that's fantastic. But like for me, I'm like, why wouldn't, like, if I did do skiing, the rails, if I did do skiing, like why can't it just stop at like going down a hill successfully? Like why does it have to go to like jumps and slides and backwards and bumpies? You know? I'm much more about just like getting in a groove and like staying there. Which might, like, speaking of like my health and stuff, like the groove of like eating the same thing every morning and for lunch. I feel like that, having listened to that podcast and now being an expert on all things mental health and ADHD, Like, I feel like that was more my way of coping with what otherwise was stress and unconfidence. What's the opposite of confidence? About, like, making those daily decisions on a daily basis. If it's always the same, then I don't have to make any of these decisions, and therefore I have no stress about it. Uncertainty, that's good. That's good too. So I feel like also with, like, picking up a sport and getting better at a sport, there's uncertainty there, which brings back the tsunami of anxieties and whatnot. Insecurity, that's also good. That, I'm all about that. Sign me up for that insecurity stuff. uh, Where do I subscribe? Ever tried Top Golf? That's another thing. I mean, I know the skiing I immediately poo-pooed, but then yesterday, Beats Not Bomb suggested rock climbing, and like that's something that I'm like, okay, I could try that, and that's something that we've talked about, or I've talked with the girlfriend about, like indoor rock wall stuff. Similarly, I have zero interest in like real golf and like golf courses and like white dudes playing golf. But yeah, like a driving range could be fun for the sole purpose of hitting balls very far distances, but not at all with any interest in then taking any of that to like an actual golf course and playing the actual rich person game of golf. Mini golf? I think we're losing the exercise and fitness theme. Rock climbing gets super competitive. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I would just be like, can I make it up this thing? Can I unnecessarily make 3 boats when I already had one in my inventory? Pinball machines are where it's at. There's like a pinball museum in Oregon, in Portland, I think. Try running. No. Honestly, sometimes depending on where I'm at, I will run a short distance with Juno when she gets into it, and like Blizzard Brain is like, hey, this is something, isn't it? This is getting my blood moving. I could do this. But like, if I think about it for more than a microsecond, I'm like, yeah, this would be terrible to do like longer than this 15-second stint that I'm doing with Juno. Blood's not supposed to move. Precious. The mind is willing, but the body is butts off and fatigued. You're focused on not being very good at the thing rather than just enjoying the thing. You are very much distilling things down to one of the major tenets of Kurt's mental health. There is definite anxiety and embarrassment, even if it's totally internal, about doing a thing and being bad at a thing. I mean, I'm very much that way, even though I've picked up, like, roller skating with the girlfriend.
Oh.
I'm way too self-aware.
I almost swallowed that nut.
Kurt J. Philosopher.
Philosopher? Who's Philip? And his ossifer? I mean, it's definitely like... Oh, I did not pick up any of that stuff. The, projected... Like... People are looking at me and making fun of me. That I learned somewhere, somehow. That prevents quite a few things. That prevents quite a few things indeed. Doing something together with someone who's also bad at the same thing also makes it easier. True. Which is... Unfortunate is the wrong word, but... All these things I'm saying, the girlfriend is very much the opposite. When she does something, she wants to be, and will be, the best at it. And will dedicate many time and much effort. Which has brought her a lot of success in a lot of these things she's done. Both, like, personally and professionally, actually. So, I'm not saying that that makes it bad, but I'm like, I feel like maybe like things that neither of us have tried, like rock climbing or like the golfing driving range, those might be, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm more apt at one of those activities versus an activity that I know she's already very invested and good at. Did you ever enjoy a sport or activity without any anxiety when you were a kid? That's difficult because maybe I was having anxiety, but I didn't have a name for it. Like, I didn't identify it because I'd never been presented with that as a possibility or reason why I felt the way I felt. Also, I have a horribly bad memory. I can't remember things like my childhood or activities, or especially like how I felt. That is a very impossible, like, how did you feel when this happened, or when this thing, or doing this thing, or when you were in this grade? How did I feel? I don't know. I have no emotional memory. So yeah. No, I don't remember. Like, I had a lot of fun setting up all my Legos, or like Matchbox cars, and like playing the entire day in my bedroom by myself. And making like entire plot lines and storylines with all the different characters. And somehow single-player video games have caught my interest in my adult years. What about esports? Same thing. The competitiveness, I have zero interest in. If anything, like a negative connotation too. Like, even like, that's part of what a lot of like wore me out about PUBG and games like that. Like, I could take it as far as I could, not playing the game the right way and being silly and goofy and stupid. But like, eventually, it just became like hard to ignore that aspect of it and be like, alright, I'm out. I'm done. Doc Gratis taking full credit for this long, lengthy discussion. Right, I get it. It's that like frustrated and like fourth person embarrassment that comes from like being like trounced by people who are like much more competitive and take it much more seriously. And then like doing that, think of that but in front of an audience. That is Twitch. SnowRunner should be in esports. Like, on the same map, but like you're competing against each other, so you gotta like stop each other and like spawn in trailers to stop the other person from advancing. It's a wee bit too janky, I feel. I spawn tornado. Indeed. Ooh, buddy. Why is it so hard to get into new hobbies? I have a laundry list of reasons. Which may or may not also be categorized as excuses. Ooh, buddy. Excuse me. Ahoy, hoy, lowly mortals. Could get into VR stuff. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Like VR sports? Do such a thing exist? That aren't like Beat Saber? Oh, are we talking about the fitness thing? I don't like. I don't know. I don't really feel like I need fitness. I think that was just part of a question, and I was kind of in my classic snarky way denouncing the idea of exercise for exercise sake. And also exercise that helps mental space stuff. Yeah, just ask Good about being active in VR and the sweat problems that end up happening with a big television strapped to your face. Hobby stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I need more time in front of a computer on games and things like that. I don't think more games is the issue. Definitely stuff that I need to be out of the house for. Whoa! Alright. I failed at the old depth perception test there, thinking I could make it up that mountain. That definitely wasn't a mountain, but was a hole in the ground. always enjoyed fishing and or kayaking. Kayaking is on the list of potentials, but also carries a hefty entry fee barrier sort of thing. Wah, Wolfie, good gravy. The list: kayaking, indoor rock climbing, whacking balls. I mean, I'm already doing like the roller skating thing, but I'm more looking forward to when the girlfriend and I can like be outside and like trail skate versus like rink skating. Look at this floating island that's floating in the water like an island. Surfing. No. That has a bit of a culture that I do not want to belong to. I'm also not much of an ocean person. Not much into the water. Tennis. I tried tennis. It was a very weird time where I don't know what I was, like 13 or 14 maybe. And one Christmas, unprovoked, my grandparents bought me a tennis racket. And I was very confused. I had never shown a single molecule of interest or knowledge about tennis or anything. Although I do wonder if it was at the behest of my parents trying to get me into something. Because then they signed me up for a tennis lessons. Which was very weird. Because, like, I don't know. There was, like, I don't know what it was. Like, there were, like, 3 or 4 days of, like, learning about technique and how to, like, hit the ball and, like, how to hold the racket. The racket. The racket? Tennis racket. It's called a racket, right? How to do that. And then it came time, okay, let's play our first games. And then I, like, paired up with somebody to, like, play our first game. And I'm like, okay, how does tennis do? Like, they never explained, like, the scoring, the weird scoring, or, like, who goes first, and the fact that, like, the server keeps serving. I thought it was, like, trade the ball back and forth, and we trade, you know. They assumed kids who signed up for a tennis lesson perhaps knew the sport of tennis. So that was extremely awkward, and one of maybe many of those points of interest that have buried themselves into my subconscious, making me feel more and more awkward about trying new things and not knowing those new things. Oh yeah, that was embarrassing. Badminton. In high school gym class we did badminton, and I had a friend in that same class, and we like paired up and took it way too seriously. But yeah, I really didn't keep up with tennis on account of the fact that I had one tennis racket and none friends with tennis rackets to continue playing tennis with beyond that one tennis class thing. Is past Kurt a good indicator of what you could enjoy in the future? I think that was asked by Alan Zero. And the answer is no. Past Kurt cannot be trusted. If anything, it's past Kurt that has led to this problem. all of the, like I said, the ingrained little molecules of embarrassment and guilt and shame. He's the one who got me in this situation. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa. Future man. Oh, dang it. Dang it. Come back. You fool. Where are you going? What about juggling? Get out of here with these clown sounds. Juggling. Sheep shearing. I mean, honestly, one of the things, like, that I said I should do is, like, take an interest in, like, lawn care. Like, this is the first place I've lived that we have, like, a decently sized yard and, like, garden. And now that the girlfriend is very busy in school, it's lost its keeper. So, like, I should, like, that would be a thing to just spend time, just get out there and, like, rake the yard. And, like, it's probably well past the time to start thinking about, like, planting early stuff for gardens. Don't know. That's another thing that I have that past Kurt can't be trusted with. I have kind of negative connotations with yard work because I was forced to do it as a kid. There it is. A little delay.
Share some stories? Successful savory soup saving since Saturday?
We're bad at saving soup. We learned our lesson there. Sadly, the soup was sent off on an early salutations down the sink. Yeah, no, we have gardens. Last year really sucked. A, because we left for 2 weeks and everything died, but also B, because it was like the driest and hottest summer on record in the area and everything died. Ooh. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing, but like I also like I have a bit of a negative connotations with it that I should just get over myself and deal with, but yeah, like I was kind of like forced to like mow lawns. And do those sorts of things. If I type this with one hand, does that count as one hand clapping? Through the magic of technology, I think so. Are you sure a hobby is the right thing you're looking for? Maybe it's medication. I added that part. Maybe voluntary work or something similar. Again, I've thought about that too. Talking about these interesting times and like the problem of being inundated with a daily tsunami of bad stuff that you have no control over. Like maybe taking control of some of that stuff by volunteering your time to help XYZ issue that you see. Maybe you should stop thinking. Also, that is a major part of the problem. You're kind of doing that right now? True, and I remember mentioning when I started Farlands or Bust, when we started raising money for Child's Play charity, like, I never had, in the past, like, done any volunteer work. Like, it just, I feel like that's very much like an upbringing and, like, family type of thing that you would get into. Or that you would, like, learn to just automatically do. And, like, we never did that, and I was never in a situation to do that. So it wasn't, like, natural to me. Not that, like, I'm saying, like, we were terrible people. Like, we would support and, like, donate to causes and things like that, and that's where, like, the charity fundraiser kind of aspect came from. But, like, we didn't, like, there's people who are like, my family volunteers at a soup kitchen every Christmas, or, you know, like that sort of stuff. You know, those freaks. Careful, Wolfie. Yeah, I don't know. There's the social aspect of that, which is, I think about too much. And, like, I have, like I said, I don't want to get on an airplane, or I'm not terribly thrilled about going to a grocery store. Although I suppose not all volunteering also has to be in person. I mean, I think I talked about, like, looking at, like, in the first quarter of the pandemic, we're still in that first quarter, by the way. Like, they were looking for people to, like, arrange appointments for vaccines or for testing. Like, they needed, like, just people for, like, inputting and connecting and data and stuff like that. And I looked that stuff up, and it seemed like something I could do. But your old friend follow through never followed through. Old executive function was out playing golf that day. Stupid rich guy brain hobbies. So yeah, I don't like again. I have got a lot of ideas. But that's where they tend to stay, unfortunately. Disc golf. Nerds. Next, you're gonna tell me to start riding around on a one wheel. Because I'm lumping those groups together because it's the same person who does both things. See. am I naming all the things that you like to do, Alan Zero? These are jokes. These are all jokes. Excuse me, Wolfie, I'd like to pass. Today on Kurt Alienates His Audience. You think I'm alienating you? These are the thoughts that go into my own brain and my own head. All of these doubts and second guesses and preemptive embarrassment. I'm merely projecting. Indeed. Ooh, buddy. The alienation is circular. And also a TV show. Indeed. Up, Bowstripe. With a $30 donation, $2,116.92. If you second guess a second guess, is it third guessing or fourth guessing? Is it like, are you asking if is it a square root or merely a multiplication? Is it like enchanting a level 3 power bow. You need 2 level 2s to make a level 3. I know some aspects of modern Minecraft. Always expect the Minecraft analogy. Hello. Second guess. I have a second guess enchanted book. What do I apply it to? Look at these shapes that are all similar and weird. Some sort of alien language. Alien nation. It can be smooth if it wants to be. We're just walking very far distances, which causes the choppiness, because then the numbers are too big in the coordinates. And the game doesn't know specifically where we are. To put it simply. You just missed it. There's a cooldown. There a need for you to do more stuff? I mean, I get pushed a bit out of the comfort zone by friends and the girlfriend. Mostly in a good way. Yeah, I mean, that's something that she subscribes to, is like getting me out of my comfort zone, because more often than not my comfort zone becomes a comfort rut. Deeper and deeper. Darker and darker. But also, I feel like I was, even before that, I was still trying to figure similar stuff out, living by myself. BGF. Before the girlfriend. Like, I was like, let's go on hikes, kayaking seems cool, I'm not gonna do anything about it. Let's get an old car and get into that, maybe. Have you gone to Canada before? Me and her did. That was like our first trip together. Like, is it even open anymore still? I don't even know. I mean, we do travel. Like, last month's rut, we went down to Oregon for a day. Overnight. My hobby is going to Canada. Those spooky noises are a bit concerning about where I've chosen to make this hidey hole. And rightfully so. Alright, Wolfie? I see. How about this? Spooky noises! So many spooky noises. This should be good. Perfect. My hobby is not going to Canada. I mean, like I mentioned before, to answer the question about, like, has these past 2 years made you more of a shut-in or whatever, I do feel like limits... There were a lot of limits on things one could do. So, like, travel definitely was out of the question, if you had any sense of, like, personal safety or empathy towards others anyway. Certainly didn't stop a lot of people, but you do not make a bed out of dirt, Kurt. So, like, a lot of these needs, I suppose needs, like hobby, activity, getting out of one's comfort zones were taken off the table. And now it's hard to put anything back on the table because the table is emotionally damaged and traumatized. This table is not well for a lot of people. Indeed. Speaking of tables, it's time for me to go to the lunch table, so probably not as lengthy of a stream as one would hope. But we'll figure something out with that. I do appreciate everybody joining me today and all the very generous donations, each one getting us to $2,116.92 for our marathon charity, Equality Texas Foundation. We have a perfect amount of viewers right now, 69. Let's go to sleep, back up the world, end the stream. And a save and quit to titleness. 40,677.9 megabytes. Where we're at.